Definitely. Are you still like battle rapping to this day, or like right now you're just stopping until like for the notice for a bit?
So right now I'm more focused on music, but I'm always open to battles. Like talking to some people, trying to line up some things. But like I said, my focus is more music. Yeah, I'm always open.
Yeah, no, most definitely. So getting back into your music right now, so what artists or genres were you like mainly influenced by, and do you know if you want to like work with like any other like artists like someday, like you know either like famous or non-famous in the studio someday?
So though, my biggest influences definitely would be like we talked about earlier, Nas. Old school, sophisticated killer vibes. Like he was just crazy with it. He taught me how to flow right and like how to get my message across properly. Then I have the Lil Durk, definitely. He's more my modern day top artist because like he flows melodically like crazy. Like it's like he's pulling melodies out of a bag. You know what I mean? Like talks pain. You know, he sells pain in another way. And definitely Nipsey. Definitely Nipsey. Not just taught me, but taught everybody else how to be a boss and how to just stand on your shit. You know what I mean? Do what you gotta do. And yeah, those are definitely my biggest influences in music. People that I would want to work with, all three of them. Fuck. I'd want to work with I want to work with my brothers. I want to work with Money City. I want to work with Nuage. I want to work with Norman, Spitty. You know what I mean? I want to work with all my brothers and everybody else that wants to work. I love making music. I love the art. So yeah.
Yeah, almost definitely, man. So for first-time listeners who might have not heard about you before or your music in that sense, like how would you describe your music to them, and like what can they expect from you in that sense?
So, I'd say I make hip hop music, obviously, but I talk about my experiences, talk about my hopes, my wants, you know what I mean? And I feel if you care about not only how the music sounds, but what's being said, it'll definitely fuck with my music, one way or another. And yeah, I'm always evolving, so I'm always just trying to learn to do new things. I feel like I started doing this for therapy, just because I was misunderstood and I just try to understand things. And then it more so turned into a hobby, and now hopefully into a career. And yeah.
Stuff. And you know, getting into your creative process for a bit too. So, what is your process like for creativity, like when making music? And what would like a day in the like studio or just like recording or making music be like for you?
Shit, what you see right now? Kicked up with my dog, smoking. You don't even have to be smoking, just chilling, just catching a vibe, just thinking. You know what I mean? My music's about different experiences, so like I can be at the studio and I could feel one way and we can literally make a hit out of like nothing, you know what I mean? Or it can be pre-planned. Walk into the studio with something already on my mind, from whether it's pent up things or something I want to talk about, you know what I mean? It's just, inspiration just comes, however it comes.
You know, usually I ask other artists like if they ever like needed like alcohol or like weed to be creative, like in that, to be in that element too. So like I think for you, would you say you would need like certain stuff like alcohol or weed to be in that element, or?
Nah, definitely not. Just because I didn't start writing, or I didn't start making music because of weed, you know what I mean? Like I've been making music for time. A lot of these artists hop in the studio, get drunk, make a hit, blow up, which is crazy, good for them, but it's because of that got them that hit, basically, you know what I mean? And you have to replicate that, whereas if you have it within, you have it within. I just find, fuck, me smoking just adds to it, you know what I mean? I can catch a different vibe. And yeah.
sure. Nah, most definitely, man. It's actually crazy too because I don't think like a lot of like unique songs come from a lot of like unique aspects in life. And I don't know if you know like within like this Post Malone situation, like he talked about like making like a lot of his like lyrics, for like his latest project and for other like songs, like by using the bathroom and all that. So I don't know, like, what are your thoughts on that, like, on, making, like, a hit or a song, like, anywhere and all that, like, based on, like, writing and such like that?
So what's my thoughts on making music based on?
Like, just not even from, like, that situation, too, just even being, like, in that element where he made it, like, like, in the washroom, like, writing these lyrics.
Gotcha,
Do you feel like, in that sense, too, you can make, like, a hit, like, anywhere in that sense, too?
100%, bro. I used to be working at Tim Hortons thinking of bars on my break and shit, you know what I mean? Pulling on my phone at the cubicle at Weed Man, and I worked there. After a while, that's honestly why I was like, fucking 9 to 5, you know what I mean? That was one of the reasons why I said fucking 9 to 5. Because I was like, I can do other shit. I want to do other shit, and it's showing. So, 100%. If you want to do it, you can do it anywhere.
Yeah. Most definitely, man. Mm-hmm. So, with songs like Marathon 95, Overdose, Narcos, Showdown, and Dance into Darkness, what were like the creative processes and inspirations for those songs?
So, Marathon 95. Actually, we'll start it backwards. So, I'll do Showdown was honestly Showdown, Dance into Darkness, all of those. My old school tracks. That was just me getting my thoughts out at the time, you know what I mean? I wanted to rap so bad, and I just had to hop into a booth. So I did my shit. That was me, just first process. Didn't really have any prior thoughts other than just showing people, yo, I'm that guy. Marathon 95, which I dropped earlier this year. That was inspired by Nipsey's passing. And just showing people that, yo, get shit done, hustle, and do what you gotta do. Keep it pushing, because at the end of the day, no one gives a fuck. So you should. Yeah.
All right. So just getting back like onto the other questions right now. So one of your main like contributions like within like your music and your sound like right now is like with your collaborations with Spitty, who's actually like one of the most popular like artists like right now, being featured on Rolling Stone India with Much, with all these like other platforms too, like supporting his music in that sense, and like him performing at like bigger events like Canadian Music Week and all these other venues. So how did you manage to work with him, and what was like working with him like in terms of creating music?
So I met Spitty a while back at The Stew. It's a spot my homie Kevin holds and owns. And we had a show together actually, exhibition. And from there we kicked it off. We made our first song, Infinity. Crazy. Felt like we had a similar style, you know what I mean? We had a similar liking. We fucked with the same artist. And yeah, he was a sick ass person. He's a dope ass person. And yeah, we made more songs. Made a track with Norman, crazy ass song, Clockwork. And working with him is dope. It's dope. You learn a lot. Homie's doing his thing, so that's inspiring too. He's 9'5", born too, so it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's good to see someone that you fuck with actually doing his shit. Homie's performing in Brampton, performing in Saga, putting people on, showing people what to do. So yeah, it's crazy. Shout out to homie.
Yeah. So, like, what were some things that you guys like learned from each other that you guys like both implement in your music today in that sense?
For him, I could definitely say consistency. He's definitely one of, if not the hardest working underground artist I'm seeing right now. You know what I mean? He's doing his thing. He's grinding. For me, it's hunger. It's the thought of and the reality of there's no fucking way I can fail, you know what I mean? And that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me learning and going over obstacles.
Yeah, no, most definitely, man. And it's crazy too because with the South Asian like music scene and like even like the Indo-Caribbean like music scene like in Toronto, you know, you have like a lot of unique talents coming there. Like I think Nav like was the one that kind of like jump started to become like bigger than ever for a lot of like South Asian and Indo-Caribbean artists like to get by and all that. But then, you know, you also have like dope acts like Dopeface, who's from like Deadbeat Posse, you know, a very dope artist from there, who even had like a song with Stephen Cannon and all that, with Spitty, with Lily Sin sometimes too, like if she wants to create music and like, you know, even you and all that. So do you feel like, and even like in other countries too, with MIA and Lil Hell, who's actually like an artist from like Atlanta. So do you feel like it's as bigger than ever for like a lot of like South Asian and Indo-Caribbean artists to get by like in the music scene and all that?
Before, definitely. Now, not so much, just because, like you said, there's so many people popping off right now and have been popping off for time. If anything, I feel like it makes it sicker. Because look at some of the biggest artists right now. Like, rest in peace to Muswala. Bro, he had love from everybody, you know what I mean? Like, every different culture, every different vibe. And, like, even hear the samples right now. And, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, no, definitely, I feel like it was harder before, but not now, yeah.
And yourself, and you know, being like a South Asian like artist in hip hop, did you ever feel like you had to like prove yourself to be respected in a hip hop culture, while like in hip hop culture, or like just like even in hip hop, while introducing your own culture to others in that sense?
No. If you have something to say and you say it properly and you say it the right way, it'll get felt by who it needs to get felt by, you know what I mean? That's how I felt always.
You know, I'm actually interested in this, like in that sense too. But how did you get your stage name, Dutchie, like by any chance?
So, back when I was a kid, like 14, 15, my name was Mo Money Dutchie. Well, that was like my homies used to call me. And eventually, when I started rapping, I tried figuring out a name, and then one of my homies was just like, "Yo, just cut off Mo Money and just stick with Dutchie." And honestly, from there, that's what I just stuck with it, you know what I mean? Everybody started calling me Dutchie, and then she just has my stage name.